This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, about 6 weeks ago, it was announced that the Perth Bears will be joining the NRL competition.
Exciting times.
And, it made the news big time over here in Perth, but we haven't had the opportunity to catch up with the coach, Nat.
I know. Well, that's all there is so far, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a coach, but it's a good one.
And it's none other than the great man, Mal Meninga. Morning, Mel. How you going, buddy?
Very well. Can't complain. Life's good.
Well, life's good. Life's going to be better when you are permanently over here coaching the Perth Bears, which everyone in WA is up and about over.
Oh, it's been excellent. Yeah, obviously the news has been taken well so far.
Yep.
So I was over there just recently, and it's been fantastic. So everyone knows the Perth Bears is coming, and we're ready to get into it.
Mal, it's going to be amazing. By the way, rugby league. Yeah, I went and watched you play for the Canberra Raiders one year, many years ago. I think it was 1991 when I was in Canberra one weekend. I shouldn't have said that. It ages both of you.
Exactly.
It ages both of us. But yeah, mate. And then obviously with all your notorieties, playing for Australia and playing for Queensland and being a winner all the time, I was kind of thinking, why would you do this? Would you want to be the second coach in just in case, because you've got to recruit players, right?
Tough to be first, yeah.
Tough to be first. That's yeah.
I actually understand the question. The challenge is actually setting it up. I think that the challenge is, giving it some really strong foundations, putting some pillars in the game of rugby league over there. I understand, through my experience, we're not going to take over the sporting world in WA. We want to live beside it. We want to make sure we're part of that community. So that's the aim. And, part of my role is to obviously give it that profile, but, put those pillars into the ground, and then hopefully down the track that we get a sustainable, successful team. It's only one team state, so getting behind the game, the team, the Perth Bears, but work alongside every other sport as well.
Now, Mal, you've got, obviously the Bears start playing in 2027, so you've got kind of a year and a half, I suppose, to put together a team. And is that, you're building from the ground up. How do you formulate, how do you figure out how to recruit for this club?
Yeah, it's a good point. Again, you're asking a very good question, to be honest with you.
We've got this. It's like 60 minutes.
So when you talk about building pillars, that's value systems, the standards, the behaviours, and the culture of the club. What is its personal identification? So what is the ideals of a Perth Bear? And we have to develop that, and you do that through listening to your sporting community, listening to the rugby league fans over there, but also listening to the North Sydney fans as well, and supporter group, and those that are involved with that club. So you build it from there. So you set your standards, and then once you set your standards, then you look at players that can fulfil those standards. And that's how we're going to go about it. We're going to get over there. We're going to listen. Once we get it all going. Today's actually the first day. Can you believe? First day that we actually are employed by the Perth Bears.
Oh, right.
So that's
beautiful.
It is. It's so we've been doing obviously. The publicity trips and things like that. But today we sort of hit the ground running, put our feet on the ground, and start to build all this. But obviously there we players and available. So we've got to shift through all that and make sure that the person we get, the player we get, is going to meet our standards.
Have you made any phone calls to sneaky little phone calls to players, just gauging a bit of interest, whether they might be interested in a move west?
See, this is a 60-minute interview.
There we go. We're going to get you.
We want your phone records, Mal.
Yeah, exactly. In the back of your mind, you've got ideas, and people you want to approach, and with player managers, it's really it's really good. You go through them, and once we understand who our recruitment guy is going to be, I think that's really important. We've got to make some appointments resource-wise, recruitment and head of footy and things like that. So we just need to get those people in place, and then we can start having those conversations with, through your player management teams, and then look at who's available and who's not available.
The interesting thing about putting a team together is whether you play overs to get a couple of dudes with high profiles over here, but you've already got Mel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're setting your team up, and Mel, going back to what you're talking about, people who will represent the values that the club is going to look at going forward, you could almost come up with a Moneyball situations. So find out their personalities, the people you're looking for, and then go through a statistic thing.
Without having a marquee name.
I agree with that. see, you learn from your own experiences,
Yep.
and you look at the Dolphins as a really good example.
Yes.
They'll just come in the comp, and they're fourth year now, I think. They built strong leadership standards, so they brought a Felice Kafusi and a Jesse Bromwich out of the Melbourne club, who are great leaders. They're obviously at the back end of their careers, but they set the standards and behaviours that you want amongst the younger group. And all of a sudden, they built the club around some exciting young players who grow up with those guys, with the Jesse Bromwiches saying about the standards and behaviours, and then all of a sudden that continues on. So I think leadership's really important. Obviously, people that you believe is going to help you set those standards. I think that's a really important. And then if it so happens you get a marquee that meets those parameters, well, then you've done really well. But it's standards and standards of behaviour is really important, to kick off.
Oh, Mel, we're very excited.
Yeah.
We're very pumped to have someone like you represent us as the first coach of the Perth Bears. It's a big thing for us here in WA.
Can't wait to see what you put together, Mel.
Well, me either. So it is really exciting, and we just don't. We'll just take it where it goes, So we haven't got to really set structures. Let's be organic and let's just grow this thing with the hearts and minds, hopefully, of the Western Australian supporters as well.
Bring it on.
Mel, just before we let you go, have you been house hunting?
Well, I've been walking along the beaches.
Yeah, not a slow type of guy.
I was going to say, if you're coming from Sydney, the prices are going to seem unbelievable to you. So you'll be right.
Well, I actually live in Canberra, so it's not much different. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the beaches. Put it that way.
Be a bit warmer. You'll love it.
Good on you, Mel.
Can't wait till you get here, Mel. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks, guys.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.